Good day everyone, I'm Christine Maris Bulaon together with my co-researcher Nika Shane B. Romero, and we are here to propose our working title, which is Analyzing Nutritional Label Understanding, Health Consciousness, Food Preferences, and the Relationship with Food Choices among Students at TUP Manila, a quantitative correlation study, together with our thesis advisor, Professor Katrina Macaraeg, and our course facilitator, Dr. Cherry Pin B. Barbacena. For our introduction, unhealthy diet is one of the major risk factors for a range of chronic diseases, including cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes, and other conditions linked to obesity. In fact, improving dietary habit is a societal problem rather than an individual one. The approach therefore requires that there be a population-based, multiple sectoral, multidisciplinary, and culturally relevant approach, which is according to WHO 2020. Sustainable healthy eating is a dietary pattern that promotes all aspects of individuals' health and well-being, low environmental pressure, impact, accessibility, affordability, security, and equality. So according to FAO 2019, sustainable healthy eating has been shown to be a cultural acceptable. For our background of the study, individuals' decision about the selection and consumption of food items are referred to as food choices. Numerous things such as individual preferences, cultural influences, dietary limitation, nutritional consideration, and environmental issue might have an impact on these decisions. The entire health and well-being of an individual are significantly influenced by their food choices, which is according to USDA 2021. Certainly, knowing food choices is crucial for making informed decisions about what to eat, as stated by Mossafarian et al. 2018. Nutritional health is knowing the nutritional content of food that helps individuals make choices that support their overall health and well-being. It allows them to select food rich essential nutrients and avoid those that may be detrimental to health. Dietary guidelines giving a knowledge of dietary guidelines provided by healthy authorities assist in the following recommended dietary patterns. According to World Health Organization 2020, the importance of food choices cannot be overstated because they have a direct impact on a person's health, nutrition, and general well-being. Making wise eating decisions can significantly reduce the risk of developing a chronic disease and improve quality of life. For the statement of the problem, first is what is the demographic profile of the respondents in terms of age, gender, year level, and section. And last is the income. What are the understanding of the student when it comes to nutritional label in terms of calorie content, protein content, fiber content, fat content, and the sugar. Third is what are the challenges faced in health consciousness in terms of diet and purchase behavior. Fourth is what are the food preferences of the students in terms of taste, cost, appearance, presentation of the food, and the food type. And last is there a relationship between nutritional label understanding, health consciousness, food preferences, and the relationship with food choices among students? For the significance of the study, first is the university. This study would be beneficial to university because it is one way of knowing how nutritional labels, health consciousness, and food preferences are connected to their food choices. The university would have a proper knowledge about the student state and would be able to make plans to improve the food choices of the learners. Next is the parents or the guardians. This study would be helpful to the parents or to the guardians of the students. They would be aware why food choices are very important. They would realize that having good choices would help the students. Next is the students. This study would be helping the students to know that having good food choices helps to be health conscious, understand nutritional label, and food preferences. Also for them as a future researcher to use this research for further in-depth study about nutritional label, health consciousness, and food preferences are connected to their food choices. And lastly, for the future researchers, this study will provide information that can help the future researcher about the nutritional label understanding, health consciousness, food preferences, and food choices. Scope and delimitation. This study aims to better analyze nutritional label, health consciousness, and food preferences and their relationship to food choices among the students. Using a survey questionnaire is an appropriate instrument for this research study. All informations and conclusions drawn this study were obtained from random students from TUP Manila. The researcher would plan to gather data from the students to be better informed about the study. Review of related literature. First is the demographic profile. According to NICA 2021, when striving to understand and respond to consumer demographics are a significant set of characteristics that shouldn't be ignored. Consumer behavior can be significantly influenced by a number of factors, including age, sex, income, education, marital status, and mobility. Next is the nutritional label understanding. According to the FDA 2022 in 2016, the nutritional facts, labeling, and food packages has been updated to take into account new scientifically valid information, for example, that diet and chronic diseases like obesity and heart disease are linked. Consumers will be able to make better informed decisions about their food thanks to the updated labeling. Most food packaging shall bear an updated label in order to give consumers more information concerning their food choices. A new nutritional fact label includes the most recent evidence of nutrient content, like additive sugars.
Next one is health consciousness. Health consciousness, as examined by Ching Shu Wang, plays a role in shaping consumer preferences and influencing food purchasing decisions. People's view of the risks associated with food and nutrition can affect how they behave when making purchases and what they eat and whether they accept new food innovation, based on Frewer et al. 2019. Next one is the nutritional label understanding. According to the FDA 2022, in 2016, the nutrition facts labeling on food package has been updated to take into account new scientifically valid information. For example, that diet and chronic diseases like obesity and heart disease are linked. Consumer will be able to make better informed decisions about their food thanks to the updated labeling. Most food packaging shall be wear an updated label in order to give consumers more information concerning their food choices. A new nutritional facts label include the most recent evidence of nutrient content, etc. additive sugars. According to Kursuma's 2018 study, in addition, the growing awareness of how to acquire knowledge is mainly due to the health consciousness acquired by consumer. For the food preferences associated with the acceptability of food products are defined as evaluated attitude expressed by people towards foods, including how they qualitatively evaluate them and how much they like or dislike specific products. Raina et al. 2020. When choosing a meal, consumers frequently have to choose between health and flavor. Hackle et al. 2018, and based on Rigo et al. 2023, foods and treatments that encourage healthy choices could be developed with the help of an understanding of the specific characteristic of children's food preferences and perception of the healthiness and tastiness. Here our conceptual framework. For our IB, first is demographic profile. The indicator is age, gender, year level, and section, and of course income or monthly allowance. Second is nutritional label understanding. The indicator is calorie content, fiber content, fat content, sugar, and protein content. For the third is health consciousness. The indicator is diet, purchase behavior, and the last, for IVS food preferences, the indicator is taste, cost, appearance, presentation of the food, and the food type. For our DB, food choices, the indicator is healthy and unhealthy. For the research hypothesis, there is no significant relationship between nutritional label understanding, health consciousness, food preferences, and food choices among students at TUP Manila. For the hypothesis 1, there is a significant relationship between nutritional label understanding, health consciousness, food preferences, and food choices among students at TUP Manila. For the research design for this study that is used to quantitative. This study, the answer question need to use numerical data. The researcher will be analyze nutritional label understanding, health consciousness, food preferences, and the relationship with food choices among students at TUP Manila, a quantitative correlation study at TUP Manila. For the research locale, the study was conducted at TUP Manila campus only. The location was selected to know the relationship between the nutritional label understanding, health consciousness, food preferences with food choices among students. The choice of the study location was made since the researcher was convinced that it will significantly advance their study. For the population and sample, the population of the study are the students from first year to fourth year level in CIE of TUP Manila. The researcher chose the population because they are focus of the study. The study wants to discuss the relationship between nutritional label understanding, health consciousness of food preferences with food choices among students. The total number of students currently enrolled in CIA is 1,384. From the first year to fourth year, the sample size is 173 because 1,384 divided into 4 year levels is 346, then divided by again into 2 because every year level has 2 sections. For the research instrument, this study will use random sampling. Respondents are randomly selected as part of the sampling technique, which is essential. Random sampling. Use this strategy. Each member of the population has an equal and fair chance of being chosen for the sample. The researcher will give a survey questionnaire and then the respondent will answer with their personal information. This will help the researcher collect the data. The researcher will use a closed-ended question and we will use a Likert scale, which will indicate strongly agree to strongly disagree. For the data gathering, the researcher will further stated that all information from the participant will keep the highest confidential and used purely for educational purposes. The researcher will give instruction on how to complete the procedure, and once they have clarified everything, the researcher will be sending and giving out the printed questionnaire to answer. The participant will answer the questionnaire. There will be ready-made questionnaires using printed questionnaires that contain closed-ended and open-ended questionnaires. After completing the procedure, the researcher will thank to the participant for their participations. Here are our references for this title.